All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of We Create Music. I am your host, B. Vaughn, and today we have an extraordinary guest, singer, songwriter, Hendricks. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So tell our audience who you are. What do you do? How'd you get started?
Okay, well, I am Hendricks, and I'm a singer. I also am a songwriter. I also dabble in acting as well. How did I get started? Most great singers start in the church. So, that's kind of my same background. I'm not saying I'm a great singer or whatever, but, I started in church, and from there, I just kind of just developed this love and passion for it. And I did like a lot of high school talent shows and stuff. And then when I got out of school, I started doing background for different artists and doing work with bands, like cover bands and stuff like that. And just kind of walked into my own lane. So,
that's good.
Yeah. So now it's just Hendricks.
So now it's just Hendricks.
Yep.
Hendricks, no Jimmy. I had to find out what that was at first. It didn't hit me at first, and I read that. I was like, Hendricks, no Jimmy. Hendricks, no Jimmy. Oh, Hendricks, no Jimmy. No Jimmy Hendricks.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah. Because every time, someone's like, oh, your name is Hendricks, like Jimi Hendrix. I was like, no. No, because it's not spelled the same, right. So that's how I came up with that. It's like, no, Jimmy. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but much respect to Hendricks.
Much respect to Jimmy.
Jimi Hendrix.
But absolutely, it's catchy so people can remember.
Right.
It's Hendricks, no Jimmy.
Right.
So going back to growing up in the church.
Right.
And so you sing in the choir, and then through that, from my research, your choir director kind of put you front and center.
He did.
Right.
He did. Oh, okay. I've been doing some research.
So put you front and center, and that kind of fueled your passion for music.
Right. Yeah, because it was my grandma put and actually God rest her soul. I just lost her this year, but my grandmother would put thank you, me and my little cousin. Well, we're like the same age, but she's a little younger than me. She would put us both in the choir, and so we were both be in the choir singing. But at some point, I got pushed forward to do the solos, and my cousin never did. So I was like, okay, I might have something here, So yeah, that's how that happened.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you've opened up for some local acts. Well, I wouldn't say they're local acts because I don't think Carl Thomas is a local act, right? Carl's not local.
He's not local. I've opened up for Carl Thomas. I've opened up for Case. I've opened up for RL. So your R&B crooners. I've been around them. Yeah. So
talk about that experience.
Yeah. As
far as working with RL, working with Case, working with Carl Thomas, and just your experience in relationship to performing with them and opening up for them, and just that whole side that people really don't get a chance to see.
Okay, well, Carl Thomas was actually one of my first gigs, outside of high school or whatever. It was at the Bronner Brothers hair show, and I was, opening up for him. I had the opportunity to do that. And I just remember first of all, he was a little late. And so they were like, you got to stall, keep singing. So I remember being I was 18 and I was like, okay, and I was so nervous. But when he got on stage, it was something incredible to see. It was just the way he commanded the audience, his voice, it was awesome. And I was just there in awe, and I did get to chop it up with him a little bit.
Sure.
And apparently I did a good job too that day because people were asking me to take pictures and stuff. So, it was a cool experience. And then fast forward to more recently, when I did RL and Case, we actually had, this was at, a amphitheater in North Carolina. Shout out to them. They showed me Major Love, Allen Riley, Charlotte. So we were out there, and something happened with the speaker. So something happened with the speaker after my performance, so it was like a little delay. And RL was like always teasing me. He's like, "Yeah, you sing blowing down the house, blowing out the speakers and stuff." But he was really, really great, and he was like, he checked out the show and he loved what I was doing. He was like, "I'm gonna be trying to open up for you soon. Like you're it." So that was pretty cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, so it was really cool.
So how does a person even prepare for that?
Oh, that was weeks and weeks of preparation. I was with, I had my 2 background singers at the time. So it was just me and my singers. Shout out to them. They were awesome. But we were just like, kind of like in boot camp type of mode, because that was my first like big thing. Like as far as like a tour setting kind of thing. Okay. So that was pretty big for me. So I was like, yeah, I got to make sure this is tight. So we would rehearse. And yeah, until it was time to go.
That's right. So that's the physical side, right? Doing all the rehearsing and the practicing and making sure the songs are tight. But what about the mental perspective?
Mentally, it was just a thing where it was nerve-wracking. I remember being like extremely nervous, but I'm always nervous. But this one in particular, I was really nervous. So, because it was a bigger audience for me. So I was really nervous, but I don't know, it's just different. So like you have all of this building up, but then when you get out there, it's like it all goes away.
It all goes away. I don't know. Well, we won't get into that side. But
well, for me, it did. Like, it went away, and I just was up there just having a good time and feeding off their energy and, doing my thing. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. Because I know that it can be tough performing in front of a large audience, and especially if you've never done it before, and then having to deal with performance anxiety and nerves and all those different things to get ready to put on the best performance that you can, because there are people watching. Right. Right. You said RL, he checked out the show. Yeah. And he can be like, okay, yeah, that's the next thing. Like, we getting ready to figure out how we can sign her to have her join our team. And it's kind of, there's a lot of different things at play that I don't know if everybody considers when they are putting on that type of show. Yeah,
and I would think it would be actually, a disservice to them if they didn't consider that. Like, because why aren't you thinking of that?
Why aren't you thinking? Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you doing this?
I think because most people just want the money. So they figure out, okay, I can just go out here and act crazy or do whatever I do, and I'm going to get some money. But I don't think they consider the longevity.
Yeah, and, I've noticed that, but that's not it. That's not how I think. So for me, that's not a common thing. Like, I would never think that because I'm not there with it. Like, I'm doing this because I genuinely love to do it. And it took me a while before I could start making money to do it. So it had to have been something that I really was passionate about. So, yeah, no.
So what fueled you through that process until you started making money?
It was really like just the love of it. And really for me, and I tell people all the time, like, I love how it makes people feel. Like I would sing, I'm designated to sing happy birthday to all my family members. Like, they're like, where's my birthday song? And I would sing it to other people too. And they would cry. Wow. Like, people would legit cry. And I was like, is that serious? But music is such a beautiful thing, how it moves you and touches you. And for me to have that power to be blessed with that gift to do that to someone, that's an awesome thing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to share it because this is what I feel like I'm here to do.
That's good. Because not all singers are super confident.
They're not.
Nope. And they're super nervous and scared. And so they don't fulfill that particular passion to do it. So it's good to hear that you do it freely and openly and say, this is who I am and this is what I'm here to do.
Right. Yep. Now, it does get annoying.
Because everybody asks you all the time.
Yeah. Right. Now that gets a little annoying, and they think you're like a jukebox or something. Do you know this song? You
know this song?
No, yeah. Except I don't get the money. They just be like requesting. I don't get the quarter. Right. I just get the press play. So, but that's only like family and friends and stuff. Right.
So where do you see your career taking you? Internationally, sorry. Like I'm just trying to get everywhere in everyone's face. I already like moving numbers in Japan actually. With my single No Good, thank you. So like I'm trying to be everywhere. And here's the thing though about me, like I'm not trying to be Beyonce, Rihanna, or anybody like that. I just want to be the best version of Hendricks I can be. Sure. And honestly, I would love it if I could just go down to the mall or whatever and just chill and no one even know that that's Hendricks over there. Like I want to be low-key popping. You want to be low-key popping. Low-key popping. Low-key popping. Right. But at the same time, like, God, whatever he has planned for me, I'm here for that, but I'm not like aiming to be like super famous. I just want to be able to, be comfortable and make a living doing what I love to do and touching people. So that's what I want. So whatever that looks like, that's what I'm here for. Oh, that's good. I'm sure there's going to be much success that's coming your way.
Thank you.
So you're here in Atlanta.
Yes.
And there's a ton of artists, rappers, and especially R&B singers here in Atlanta. So what are some of the challenges that you've experienced in dealing with such a plethora of other artists here as well?
It's been like the rappers. They're like, and no shade, but it's really annoying. Only because like it's so many of them. No, they go hard. Rappers, like it's so many rappers and they go so hard. So it's kind of like I will be doing a showcase and it'll be like 10 rappers, 2 singers. So it kind of works in my favor sometimes for that. Because it's like, they tired of hearing all the rap, and then when they do hear someone sing, they're like, ooh.
Yes.
But at the same time, we're dealing with promoters and dealing with like different club venues and stuff. It's a little annoying because everybody's somebody, So it's like if they're constantly dealing with these rappers that are maybe not that good sometimes, by the time they get to you, they're like, whatever, So that's the only reason why it's annoying. But, I mean, you make it work.
You make it work.
Yeah, you make it work.
You gotta make it work.
Yeah, everyone has their own lane and their own journey that they have to go through. So this is mine, apparently. So making it work. That's cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
So talk about your process. Okay. How do you really sit down and craft music and think about how you want to put this music out?
It's all about inspiration for me. Okay. So like, and it comes to me in different ways, like in different times. Like I have an EP that I'm putting out this summer, and the whole theme of it it's entitled Reminisce. And the whole theme of it is just like things that you remembered growing up or things that I remembered growing up. So, and I was just inspired by, first of all, the music. I love 90s music. Like, it's like my favorite music ever.
That is one of the best music eras.
Yes, I agree.
It's 90s.
Yeah, I agree. Right. So, like, it started with me doing my single, which is out right now, entitled Real. And it's heavily sampled by a Toni Braxton song. I love Toni. She's like, I want to be her so bad. She's amazing to me. So I was like, okay, I like this vibe. And then I was working with this producer, Taylor Made. He's really dope. Yeah. I know that. And he sent me this track, and it also has like that 90s vibe. I was like, okay, so let's do a whole project off this whole concept. Like, I really like this music. And just putting a newer twist on it, I want to keep that going. So that's how I came up with that. So it's just like one thing sparked it, and I just took the whole thing and ran with it. So
September
September is when it's coming out.
Is that when you say it's coming out?
No, it's coming out this summer.
Oh, this summer.
Yeah,
this summer.
This summer.
Not September, but this summer.
Yeah,
so you make sure you go when it comes out. You go and cop it from Hendricks.
Yeah.
It's all digital platforms?
Yes.
All digital platforms. So make sure you pick that up. I'm sure it's going to be 90s popping because 90 had to be one of the best eras for R&B music.
Yes.
Hands down, period.
Yes, period.
So many hits came out of that and so many R&B artists were very successful because of that, that music.
And they're still living off of it right now. Like
it's still today living off of the music that they kind of put out. Mm-hmm. So I guess that goes to, so in my research, that goes back to a statement that you said, and I may not get the statement correct, but it was something to the effect of you want to take music back to where it used to be.
Yeah.
Right. So talk a little bit about that. So when you say take it back to where it used to be, it's that 90s feel, I'm assuming, or
it's a 90s feel, but it's more about feeling. So like you remember, I remember how I felt when I first heard, you know, a Michael Jackson song, or how I felt when I heard a Shaka Khan song. Or Prince, you know. So it's not necessarily 90s. It's just that feel good music, like those songs that like I remember where I was. And even if I'm like fast forwarding to, you know, something that's not 90s, I remember where I was and how I felt when I first heard Usher Confessions. Like, you know, that's a classic record, you know, that's a classic album. So like when music made you feel a way, like when you hear it and you like, dang, you know, that took you back, or dang, you know, now I'm mad again. However it made you feel, you know, like it made you feel something. And I just I don't think a lot of music does that anymore now, currently.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's more focused on just putting something out so that money can be generated versus
and trending
and make, you know, and trending, and not really about the feeling of it. And I have this little thing down here that it talks about music is what feelings sound like.
Yes.
And it's just making sure that it gets back to that that feeling of music, because I can absolutely remember when I would hear like a Boyz II Men song.
Yes. Oh, I love them.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, you know they're gonna be here on the 5th.
You know what?
I need to go see him.
Yes. I need to go.
I do. I need to go. But I do remember hearing like a Boyz II Men song, or hearing a Toni Braxton song, or hearing just an Usher or a Tyrese or whoever it may be.
Yeah.
And it invokes emotion and feeling.
Yes.
I don't know if I can really say that about some songs today, because
I think they're trying. I hear certain artists are trying to bring that back, but it's so much other noise like dominating, you know. So
do you feel that is the element that's currently missing in R&B today? Is the feeling?
Yes.
Because the reason why I ask is because people think R&B is dead.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, R&B is dead. We now have rap, and we now have the sing-song rap.
Yeah.
And so R&B is kind of, you know, who listens to R&B anymore?
Honestly, I don't think people know what R&B is. Because, like, I had a conversation with someone the other day, and he was like, he said it was like somebody crazy. I think he said The Weeknd. I think he said The Weeknd.
No shade on The Weeknd, though.
No, still dope, but I think he said he was R&B. Or wasn't R&B. I can't remember. He said something. It might not have been The Weeknd. It was somebody random. I was like, what? That's not R&B. Like, do you know what it is? Like, I think like it's getting real blurred.
Because it's so blurred today that
I don't think anyone knows the difference. Oh, I think he was saying that he thinks that R&B is like he put it with neo soul. Or he was saying he was saying people like I really can't remember who he was saying, but it was somebody really like off the wall. I was like, what? That's not R&B. What are you talking about? But that's to my point. Like, I don't think they know anymore.
I don't think that because it is so blurred. You know, back in the day, you knew when rap was rap.
Right.
You knew when R&B was R&B.
Right.
You knew when neo soul was neo soul. And so
Right.
today there's such a blending of genres together that it's hard to kind of separate. Or you have rappers who always have singers on their albums, or you have singers who always...
But now the rappers think they sing.
Now the rappers think they sing.
Yeah,
and
now
so
they don't
like,
need us because they're singing on their own records.
That's right. They're like, man, why do I got to pay you how much? And give you what type of credit?
All I do is slap some auto-tune on my voice.
That's right.
And I'm good.
And it's an easy way for them to kind of still maintain their audience, kind of stretch themselves as an artist, and kind of not have to pay people.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm not mad at that. What I guess what I'm a little irritated with is the fact that we're accepting it. And we're calling this singing. You know, like we're calling Future a singer. Like we're calling Nicki Minaj a singer. Like people call these people singers. I'm like, they're not singers. So it's kind of insulting.
They're not singers. They're rappers.
It's insulting to singers,
right.
you know? So it's like...
But back in the day, rappers weren't trying to be singers.
Right.
Rappers like, I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm going to rap some stuff.
Yeah.
Singers were like, I'm a singer. I don't rap.
And I'm about to sing.
I'm about to sing. So let's talk about that. Right. So that was one of the things I'm going to get to. And so part of your theme is that you want people to know that you sang.
Yeah, with an A.
With an A. That's right. So talk about that.
Well, just piggybacking off what we were just speaking about, like, because there's so many people that are like, oh, I sing, you know, and I want to do this and do that. But, and then I'll say like, oh yeah, I sing too. And then I'll sing and they'll be like, oh, you sing.
Oh, you sing.
Yeah, I sang.
Oh, you don't play.
Yeah, like, but to me, like, that should have been a given anyway. But because we have so many people playing around with this craft, it's like, if you sing, oh, okay, yeah, so do... You know, Boo-Boo and them. Yeah, my homie, he sings too.
Homie sings too, but...
Yeah. You know, like, so it's kind of like, oh, okay. So that's why I say I sang, so you can know, like, this is not for play. Right. This is real.
Right. I miss real singers.
Yeah. Like,
when you think about real singers back in the day, I mean, you're thinking about Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross, Anita Baker. Right? You're thinking about people who can really
Tamia
sing. Like, and so
Shanice.
And so like Tamia and Shanice, and I even go as far as Jennifer Hudson today, because that girl can sing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, but they're not like popping though. They're not like in the forefront of R&B music today. Right? And so and these people can blow and they can really do their thing, but they're not getting the attention that needs to be given today as far as propelling R&B music today. And I just kind of always sit back and wonder why, because I grew up on R&B. I was more R&B than I was hip-hop.
Right.
And so when you saw the emergence of hip-hop dominating, it's like, well, where are all R&B people at? They not... And so they'll come out with albums. Like Joe came out with an album. Tane came out with an album. Jagged Edge came out with an album. Jodeci came out with an album. Avant came out with one. But 112 came out with one.
I love them.
But there hasn't been that push to be in the forefront like how hip hop is at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's sad.
I agree. I don't really know why that is. I don't know if it's because the records, you know, maybe they don't have the good records, or if it's because of, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Or is it because of the people?
You mean the people behind the scenes?
No.
Or the actual artists themselves?
No, I mean the audience, the fans.
Oh, the fans. In essence, well, I don't know. Fans are loyal.
They are loyal, but they also keep you current. They keep you alive. So it's like, are we not trying to listen for these people anymore? You know, as fans, are we okay with what we have right now? Because these people that are flourishing because of the fans.
Because of the fans.
Yeah.
Right.
So like,
I think there's two sides. I think it's the fans, of course, because the fans are demanding. But I do think it's the record labels, because the record labels are saying, oh, this can make us a lot of money because these people kind of want this, so let's just feed it to them constantly.
Yeah, and you're right. It is both. I'm not like putting it all on the
I know what
fans,
you mean.
But I'm saying like, okay, so a lot of people are saying R&B is it, R&B is that. But if your favorite R&B person put out an R&B album, are you gonna buy it?
Yeah,
you would. I would. But I'm saying like just like speaking to the masses. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. So it's like, are you supporting R&B? Let's push that question out there. Right. So not is it dead? Are you supporting it?
Are you supporting it?
Because that's another thing. And Tank touched on that a lot. He went on that a lot. He talked about that a lot.
That's what made him retire.
Yeah.
Oh, Tank, did you retire? I think he retired. Or he would say, I quit. And then he quit. And then he came back again.
Yeah, and now he's doing really well. But he was saying the same thing that I'm saying now. Like, y'all not trying to check for this. Like, he been had stuff out.
But I love Tank. Tank is probably one of my favorite R&B artists.
But you got a butt coming.
But if you go back and listen to Savage is the latest album. But if you go back and listen to Sex, Love, and Pain. Okay. Completely different. He was singing on them albums, like, and Tank can still sing. Yeah. But songs like Can I, or Heartbreaker, or Better Than Me, or I Can't Make You Love You, of course, was a Bonnie Raitt remix.
I loved it.
He was singing. But now if you listen to Savage, it sounds like what today's R&B.
Because he figured out the formula.
He was like, okay, in order for me to survive in this genre, this is what they're looking for. Yeah. So I'm going to put out music that.
But you know the sad part about all of this is that even though he's essentially watered down a little bit, he's still killing.
He's still killing it.
He's still singing.
He's still singing.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my point. So it's like, that's how bad it is right now. The fact that he's watered down himself a little bit, and it still look like he out here blowing. Yep. That's sad. Yeah. But I think it's gonna come back.
I do too. And there's always that cycle. There's always that cycle with music. Yeah. Like right now, most music is going back to that 90s feel. Yeah. Like Bruno Mars, he's kind of bringing that back. Yeah. There are other artists who are kind of bringing back, such as yourself, that feel of real good music, so that when you're driving down the street, you can, I like that.
And that's touches honestly, it's the formula, because it's like you're gonna hear it and you're like, oh, I heard this before. Right. You know, so
that's right. So, what advice would you give somebody coming into this industry today in the R&B world?
My advice, and I say this all the time, but it's so true. Remember why you started. So, you know, it's going to get really hard. Things are not going to move like you want them to move. But if you stay focused and remember why you started, like, why did you get into this? And I would honestly give this advice to people that are already in it. And the reason why I would say that is because if you look at people that, you know, for me, it's Trey Songz, Miguel. Like, when they first, all of their underground stuff is way better than what they have right now.
I think that's the real them. That's not the commercial.
No, but here's what I'm getting with that, though. They were hungry. They were hungry. You could tell they were hungry. So, and it's like when you get to a certain spot, you're like, oh, okay, I'm good, I'm chilling. So, like, I feel like, you know, after they ride their little wave or whatever, I feel like they should get back to that hungry. Because if you keep staying hungry like you were when you was trying to get on, I think you're going to be able to give your fans that same feeling, that same music.
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry.
Remember your first love. I love that.
Yeah, stay hungry.
That's right.
Yeah, because I saw that with a lot of them. And I'm like, oh, they were so good at the beginning.
Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
Ooh, I'm everywhere. I am Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Hendricks No Jimmy. That is HENDRICKSNOJIMI. Yeah. I'm Hendricks and Jimmy everywhere on YouTube. My music is out if you want to go check that out as well.
Yes.
That's everywhere too. All platforms. Hendricks, HENDRICKS.
It's a pleasure. I'm glad to have you on the show. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We'll have to do this again next time.
For sure.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. We're out.